Today we're looking at the talent exodus at the New York Federal Reserve since John Williams took over as president in 2018. Of course, it's one of the most read stories of the day. Here with more on it is Bloomberg's Alex Harris. And, you know, one thing you brought up in this story that I think is really pivotal at this moment in time is how much more clout is being gained in other areas of the Federal Reserve. The emergence of Beth Hammack onto the scene, Lori Logan gaining clout. What does this mean for John Williams?
You know, I think it's really, this is why people are concerned, is because the New York Fed is year after year is assigned the role of basically implementing the Federal Reserve's monetary policy. And so if you have sort of this influence shifting, that's fine. You know, we want to hear from people who have a diverse set of experiences and can relate to these things. But at the same time, they can't pick up the phone and call New York and say, we need you to do X. You know, that really, and that authority, people are wanting to hear from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, and they want to hear more from John Williams on these things. And they want to feel like this is someone who's engaged and who cares about these things. And that's not what the perception is on Wall Street right now. And people feel like this is someone who's a bit out of touch, and this is someone who's not someone who very much is into the markets or like processes them the same way as predecessors have done. And so that's why people are concerned and are saying something's not right here.
What about the departure of some key talent here? What does it mean? You mentioned since 2022 there have been key exits. Has it made it so that the New York Fed is even further away from the markets these days?
So that's a really good point, and I think that's really what we're getting to here is that, you know, one of these things is that these are people who have been there for decades, so they have been through crises, they have weathered these things, so there's a lot of institutional knowledge, and that deep bench is really beneficial when you constantly have, you know, ever-shifting markets. You know, not every crisis is going to look the same, and so this experience really matters. And I think it also gives the markets confidence, like, okay, we have a sense of these are people who have been here a long time, that they know what they're doing when things go south. And I think now with a new executive, with almost an entirely new executive team, people are really unsure and feel like there's a bit of unsteadiness there because they're not quite sure who is left and who's going to take the reins. So.